Okay guys, I'm just going to give you a little walk around here. Let this be the intro to the shop update. But anyways, I'm going to just walk around here a little bit. I have been extremely busy doing a lot of hauls, and I haven't really had time to shoot a lot of footage in the shop. But I'm in here now just before I'm going to post this video, and let me just show you. I was in here today, and what I did is I got some new shocks. I got these Rancho shocks. Is that what they are? Yeah, Rancho shocks, and they're for the back. I actually got the ones for the front. They didn't have the ones for the front in stock. They're actually pulling them out of a place in Maine and sending them in for me. But were able to get the back shocks in, and I replaced them. Now, could I have gotten away with more mileage on these things? Yes, I could have. One of them is leaking by. You can hear it when you depress the shock down. You can hear it leaking by. You're getting that kind of bubbly sound like in it. But anyways, as you can see, they're in there. And as soon as I get the other ones, I'll put them on. I'll show that to you. You can see I put a dent in my bumper of my truck. I had to make a delivery this morning. Rebar, little over 10,000 pounds of rebar to a construction yard, and this yard was very tight. There was just piles of dirt, and there was piles of lumber. What had happened is I had to kind of jackknife the trailer to get it into a spot where he pushed the rebar off of my trailer using a loader. And it was hard getting it into where where he had to push it off. And when I tried to back out of it, there was a stack of lumber still in the plastic, 2x4s or whatever, that was sitting on the ground. And I was kind of watching the back of my trailer and hit that pile of lumber. I can probably push most of that out, but I just wanted to show it to you. I'll throw some pics up there of the rebar. I also made some trips. I had to go down to Lancaster, Pennsylvania area, and there's an Amish guy down there that has a big business where he refurbishes generators, and he has a broker. I'm not sure if the broker's out of Philadelphia or New York City. He has a broker that sells them for him. But I went down there and picked up a couple of generators. I don't have a picture of that. I've got to take them out to Minnesota. I'm going to be leaving tomorrow. I'm not really, either late tomorrow or early Sunday morning, I'll be leaving to go to Minnesota. And I'll probably show you the generators on the next shop update, but I am going to throw a pick up there of a little shot that of some hills in Pennsylvania that I have to go through. I took a different route this time, and it kind of went up Route 15. If somebody wants to look on a map and see, it goes from this pic that I'm putting up here was taken between Williamsport and Corning, New York. Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and Corning, New York on Route 15. But anyways, I've been doing a lot of hauling. So I'm going to throw some clips in here that I had from even before the last shop update I posted of me doing some work on the truck. Some other things. This isn't going to be a long video because, again, I've been really busy, haven't had a lot of time to shoot footage of anything. So I'll probably come back to you towards the end and just explain what else is going on. As you can see, I've got the lights on the truck, and these are the running lights. Again, these lights are hella, both the inner lights, the fog lights, which I don't have on right now, and the running lights, the clear lights that are on the outside. What the issue is, let me just back up here a minute and tell you why I have these brand of lights and why I kind of like them. My truck is equipped with halogen lights, headlights. The headlights above are halogen. They are not LEDs. Halogen lights have a more of a yellowish effect, kind of like the old style incandescent indoor lighting of a house. Has more of a yellow effect to it. That's why I have these lights, because they are also halogen and they have that same effect or same glow. To me, watching a vehicle while I'm driving coming at me with halogen headlights and having LED running lights looks out of place. It doesn't look correct to me. Now, maybe that's just my personal opinion of it, but to me, it looks out of place and weird because the halogen headlights have a softer glow, whereas the LEDs are more harsh, more. You all know what I mean by more harsh when you get blinded by LED lights, by oncoming traffic. It just looks out of place to me. So that's why I have these things. The only issue with these damn things is, and let me turn the fog lights on and I'll bring you right back and I'll tell you what the issue is. Okay, so here is the running lights off and the fog lights back on again. And you can see how much softer they are. That's caused by the amber lens in it. Amber reflector, let's call it the amber reflector in it. And I like the amber yellow fog lights, amber fog lights, because to me, and again, it's based more on the person, but to me, the amber gives me much more visible clarity and light coming out of it in rain and fog and snow conditions. Mainly with me, it's rain and snow conditions. But for some reason, those lenses on the amber one break more than the clear driving light ones do. Both of them are broken right now. You can see the spot in there where it's broken, and over here there's a spot right there that's broken. That's also why I think they are duller, is because probably dirt, road grime and stuff has got in there on the reflective amber backing and kind of dulled it out a little bit. Now my problem is there's probably lights better out there. I mean, these things are kind of, when I get these things, they come separately. In order to get the bulb into it, the lens is separated from the backing housing, and you have to put it together. And there isn't a real good seal in there. That's why I think part of the reason why I think water is getting in there to begin with is because there's not a real good seal between the housing and the lens that is separated when you ship to you, so that you can put it together and get the light bulb inside of it. Or if the light bulb burns out, you can take it apart to get a new bulb in there. The only problem is not a very good seal there, and water gets into it. Now, is water the problem? It's what I've got an issue with is I went on a haul just recently and had the lights on and was driving because it was raining. And the amber really provides a lot better clarity to road markings in the rain at night than does it just your regular headlights. Again, the amber fog lights provide more clarity in road markings in the rain than just your regular headlights. But the problem was I got partway into the trip and noticed that the visibility was going downhill, only to find out the fuse had blown. Why? Probably because water got in there and shorted the damn thing out, which happened before. I came back, I didn't have any fuses with me, but there was probably water in there anyway, so I came back, got some more fuses, stuck it in there, and here they are, on again. I don't know what to do about it. I can probably find a better set of amber fog lights online, but they're LEDs, and I'm not sure. I have a issue. The LED lights, of course, the description doesn't go into detail about what they are, how they're assembled, how they're shipped to you. But the LED lights look pre-assembled, come as a package already pre-assembled with two wires sticking out of a grommet in the back of the fixture. To me, that would dictate that they're probably, the lens and the body of the thing are probably pre-assembled in a better manner than these things are when they're not assembled and shipped to you. So maybe that would help me with water infiltration into this thing, or I don't know. They're a polycarbonate lens on the thing. I don't know why these are breaking. These break, the clear ones don't. What the hell is going on? I mean, yeah, the lens is ribbed here and not here, but does that make any difference to it? I just don't know. So I hesitate to buy replacements for these because of two factors. Because of I can't find like good quality pre-assembled lights with a halogen bulb in it, and I really don't want to go with the LED. But anyways, there's my rant on fog and driving lights. Okay, what I'm showing you is underneath the bottom 2018 Ram 3500, and this is a control arm off of the front of it, goes to the front axle. Now this is a two-wheel drive truck, so this is a control arm, goes to the axle. Here's a bolt through it. Yesterday I had to go to Connecticut to take a generator out there. Actually, I had to take a generator out there, and then I brought the generator back with me too, but that's another story. Here's a control arm on the right-hand side of it, of the vehicle, and as you can see, the bolt's missing. That happened on the return trip, and I didn't do anything except throw the truck out of alignment and banged like shit when I hit a sharp bump. Now, if I hit a bump that was mild, not a sharp bump like a dip in the road or something like that, or a expansion joint on a bridge where they had actually controlled so the two surfaces were close to each other. It wouldn't jar it, but when it hit a sharp bump, that thing would jar. And I couldn't figure out for the life of me what the hell was going on. I actually thought it was two things. I thought it was something underneath the truck, maybe one of the cross member for the transmission or the fuel tank in the back of the truck. For the life of me, I couldn't figure out what was going on. There was a ton of shit going on yesterday, and I was annoyed, confused, and pissed off all at the same time. It drove okay. It just made that terrible noise when I hit a sharp bump. So what I did is drove back that way. Let me answer this phone and I'll get back to you. The phone call was absolutely nothing. But anyways, what I did is I got in here this morning, put it up on the lift. Well, I didn't even actually have to get up on the lift. As soon as I was going to put it up on the lift, I noticed what the hell was wrong with it. The porta power is in here because when it's in the normal condition, it's pushed back. So I put the porta power in there to push the axle forward a little bit. Now what I've got to do is straighten it out. But here's the issue. I called my local Ram dealer, and he looked up the part. The closest one is in Cleveland, Ohio. They're going to have it brought into their dealership so that it's in here tomorrow, which is Saturday. Have it in so I can pick it up. Now it happens to be an 18 millimeter bolt, 120 millimeters long, 1.50 thread pitch. But I called Fastenal and they don't even have any 18 millimeter bolts. What I'm going to do is I'm kind of waiting for my grandson because it's going to take a joint venture here of getting a pry bar in there to see if I can raise that up or lower this. As you can see, the lift is on the control arm. That's where I normally put the lift. Is on the control arm. I'm not sure if I can reposition the lift to get it onto the frame behind the control arm so that I can work on it. But what I'm going to try and do is maybe what I can do, get a floor jack with a board up in here and try and pick up on the frame at the same time as I try and put a pry bar in there to lower it while somebody tries to stick a bolt through there. What I was gonna, if I didn't say this already, I kind of forgot. Fastenal doesn't have any 18 millimeter bolts. I tried to call them. It's 18 millimeter works out to 0.70 something as far as inches go. I don't have a 5/8 bolt that's long enough to go through there. I do have a 3/4 inch bolt and it does fit into this opening. Whether it's going to fit into the bushing of the control arm, I have no idea. But we'll figure that out once he gets here. If I need to, I'll go to Tractor Supply, get a 5/8 bolt, 5 inches long, and stick in there with a nut until I get the correct bolt tomorrow from Ram. But anyways, that's my story. I just kind of wanted to show it to you. It's Saturday. I haven't still gotten a call from them, but what I get is we went out and got a grade 8 5/8 bolt that was 5 inches long that would fit in there. Now, I had a 3/4 inch bolt that's sitting here on the floor, but that wouldn't fit. It fit through the outside of the bracket, but it wouldn't fit through the bushing of the control arm. So I went out and got a 5/8 bolt. I didn't go out. My grandson actually went out and picked it up for me. And it was the only 5/8 bolt that they have 5 inches long at Tractor Supply. And it was a grade 8. But it's only, I didn't even need a grade 8. I told them just to get grab a regular one because it's only going to be in there a day. Well, this being Saturday and it being like probably 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I still haven't gotten a call from them. So I'm not sure how late they're open and whether I'll get it today. But even if it was only in there for a couple of days, a standard bolt even though it's Chinese, which you usually get at Tractor Supply, would have probably held up for the day or two that it was going to be in there. But again, all they had in 5/8 by 5 is grade 8. They were almost out of all nuts and bolts, he said when he went there. But anyways, what I'm looking at doing, when I deleted the truck, I just put a delete program in it, and it didn't take off, just disconnected and shut the EGR valve, disconnected all of the electronics that go with it, but I didn't take it off. What I'm thinking, or what I'm going to be doing, is putting a pyro gauge on it, and I've got to figure out a place to tap the manifold. And now this kind of turning out to bite me in the ass here with all of this junk that's in the way of getting the pyro probe in there, but I'll work it out one way or the other, even if I end up getting a block off kit and removing all of that stuff, but it'll get taken care of. So there it is. 18 millimeter bolt, 120 millimeters long, with this locking, let's not call it a locking nut, let's call it a nut with a arm on it that locks the bracket in. But anyways, I'll bring you back after I replace it. Oh, by the way, which I really thought this was going to be a lot. They didn't have one around here. The only place they had it is in Cleveland. It got shipped into Cleveland. It got here the next day on a Saturday, and I only paid $22 for the entire thing, which is great. Sometimes it's unbelievable how cheap dealers can be with parts. Other times they're like 5 times more expensive than you can buy them other places. Okay, so there's that bolt, and I Loctited it too. So again, some of you might not be convinced, but here is the receipt from that yeah, the bolt and nut. And again, it was shipped in from Cleveland into Hamburg, which is like 200 miles. So $22 and $1.83 of it's tax. So good old New York State. Anyways, but a good point. You guys are looking for automotive parts. Never disclude your dealers on this thing, especially if you bought the car from these dealers. Sometimes if you bought a car from them and they think you might buy another car from them, they'll give you a better deal on it. Now, I did not buy this truck from them. Far from it. I went to them, and they had like idiots for salesmen, and I didn't even want to deal with them. I found my truck online down in North Carolina, but a valid point is sometimes just double check the pricing with your dealer. Maybe they're better than your parts supplier. This package got delivered to me yesterday. I was on a haul, and it got delivered to me. I've been kind of really busy lately, but let me open it up and I'll explain to you. I'm going to bring my truck in, the Ram in, and I'll explain something to you. Through thoroughbred diesel, I got a IsoPro parameter gauge. Exhaust gas temperatures. So, as you guys probably know, my truck is deleted. I had deleted the emission stuff off of it so that it, because of fuel mileage, but mainly because of that EGR ruins engines. Recirculates the exhaust back in through the cylinders and absolutely destroys engines. But as you can see, or as some of you might realize, the emission stuff has not been removed. Now, I didn't do this. I had this guy that I know that works on diesel engines. He has his own shop, diesel engine mechanic, very good. He does it. He did it for me because I know nothing about the installation of tuning programs or delete programs into an engine. So what he did is he installed the delete program into the truck, but he didn't remove any of the stuff that it deleted. So the EGR is still there on the engine, even though it doesn't function. It's closed and won't allow the exhaust gas back into the intake manifold over here. It's still there. But why I'm telling you this is because I got this pyrometer gauge, pyro gauge, and in order to install it, and you probably won't be able to see, but the exhaust manifold where it needs to be installed is down there, and it's very hard to get to because of all of this stuff in the way. So I've actually got to drill a hole in the exhaust manifold, tap it to put the probe in for the pyro. So hence the package. And let me open it up and I'll explain that to you as I do it. Okay, so here is this box that I got, and what this should be, I got this box and I'm assuming that it's what this is it should be the delete kit for deleting off the AGR and all of that unnecessary stuff that is on the front of or on the engine that isn't needed anymore. So what this is there instructions? No instructions. The tube that's going to delete the throttle body on the intake, gaskets, block off plates for the EGR. That will be the cooling tube that's will be used to redo it so that the EGR cooler is eliminated. But anyways, there's that kit. When I bought this kit, I saw online that they had instructions, so what I'll have to do is go back on it, pull that up, and I can get to the instructions online. Just a little side note, one of the block-off plates, and I've got to assume this is where the block-off plate for the exhaust manifold, where the EGR was fed from, has a plug in it. So I could probably put that pyro into that plug and not even have to drill the manifold. But let me take a look at it. Sometimes placement is kind of let's not call it critical, but kind of important, is to get the correct temperature, a mix of the exhaust gas flow temperature out of the exhaust manifold. Yeah. Usually just before it goes into the turbo gives you kind of a true reading of the mixed gas temperature coming out of the exhaust manifold. Okay, I'm showing you the trailer because I had to come up with an ending for this video, and as you know from previous videos that I had posted, I had issues with this trailer and put some shocks on it. So I'm not going to discuss this in this video. I had success with those shocks. but there's an issue that has arisen from that. So we're going to end this video, and I am going to go into an in-depth detail about the issues that I had after I installed the shocks with this trailer. But anyways, that's going to do it for this shop update. Actually, it was supposed to have been posted probably about half a week ago, but again, I got busy and got tied up. So that's going to do it for this shop update. Guys, thanks for watching. Again, I'll bring you back and show you, we'll go into detail about the trailer bounce, shocks, and what has arisen from that.